If you are pregnant or you've recently had a baby, this podcast is for you. I am your host, Kath Bequee, a physiotherapist working in women's health and mum of 3. Join me each week as we dive into all things pregnancy care, childbirth and postnatal recovery, helping you have a wonderful pregnancy and afterbirth experience. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. Well, hello there. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the FitNest Mama podcast. If we haven't met before, my name is Catherine Bequee. I'm a mum of 3 young girls, a physiotherapist for women, and I have an online community, FitNest Mama, which helps to provide pregnant and new mothers with exercises, support, and resources they need to feel good from the inside out as they prepare for and recover from childbirth. FitNest Mama has workouts that are tired mum friendly, achy mum friendly and toddler friendly that you can do in the convenience of your home at the end of a long day whilst your bubba sleeps or whilst your toddler is running around causing havoc. This is a super short and sweet episode. If you are pregnant or you've had a baby and you've been finding it difficult to find the time or the motivation to exercise, or perhaps you exercise and you go for lots of walks, but you're not including any pelvic floor and core exercises into your routine. Or if you've been meaning to do more exercise coming into 2022, but you're just finding it hard to prioritise you because, let's face it, if you're pregnant or you're a new mum, you're busy. So if any of what I've just said resonates, then this short episode is for you. I was 6 months pregnant with my second baby. So at the time, I had a toddler who was 18 months old. My first pregnancy had been a bit of a breeze. And going into my second pregnancy, I was in for a rude shock. We had moved house. I'd just been for a walk that morning, and then I'd been pottering around emptying boxes, and I sat on the couch with my toddler. So she was about 18 months at the time. And I remember the moment I went to stand up and I could hardly walk. Like, I limped over to the bench and I cried out in pain. So I had pelvic girdle pain and it just suddenly flared up and reared its head. And it was a real shock to the system. So I know that I had been doing more than usual just as a function of having moved house. I'd been super careful not to move boxes, but you know what it's like. It's a crazy time of your life when you move a house. So I had a toddler. I suddenly, for a few weeks, I couldn't move. I couldn't walk even 10 metres. It was a real struggle that time. I had to get extra care from family and put my toddler into childcare because I couldn't do basic. I struggled to change her nappy and I certainly couldn't go walking with her or playing with her. It was a real low point, I do have to admit. This was the idea behind FitNest Mama. This is when I thought, after one day, I worked in a physio clinic at the time. I worked in a Pilates clinic and I went there to do a class. But the act of getting it there, even going to my car, driving there, finding a car spot, walking into the clinic, doing the 45-minute class or an hour-long class, coming home again, I was exhausted. And I distinctly remember the day that I thought, this needs to change. Like, there needs to be, we need to be able to access safe workouts that we can do at home if we're uncomfortable or if we're time poor. We need to be able to access information at home to help us support us if we are in discomfort. And this was when the idea behind FitNest Mama came. It's huge. I know when I was pregnant with my idea of exercise was going for a long walk. Well, this is before I was pregnant, like going for a long walk, meeting a friend for a run, going to a gym class. And I remember one of the biggest changes that happened in my transition to motherhood, along with all the obvious when it comes to having babies, but when it came to exercise and having that bit of me time, it was a huge transition to change my mindset of what exercise for me consisted of, because I used to be really active. I used to, as I said, go for long runs, go for long walks, and I believe there's a period of every woman's life or every new mum's life where unless we can do short little bursts here and there with our baby by our side, or whether or not it's our toddler by our side, I do find it gets harder and harder to prioritise us and prioritise our wellness and prioritise our exercise. And if you've been listening to this podcast before, you probably do know a bit of a mantra of mine. Something is better than nothing. Done is better than perfect. So this was a huge driver behind creating FitNest Mama. There's short workouts, 15-minute workouts. There's 45-minute workouts if you're feeling like you've got the time. There's workouts to suit you if you want to do a really gentle pregnancy girdle pain workout, or a stretch and relief workout if you're feeling a bit achy when you're after breastfeeding. There's workouts that can get your heart rate up, so cardio-based pregnancy workouts, or return to running workouts postpartum. There's workouts to suit you, no matter how much time you've got or where you're at in your stage of pregnancy and postpartum journey. And the reason I'm sharing this episode today is because I know if you're listening to this in real time, then we are approaching the end of another crazy year. And perhaps you're all thinking about your goals. Like, what do you want to be doing next year? Perhaps you're thinking about your fitness goals, your wellness goals, your you goals, your personal goals, whatever they are. And that's amazing if you are thinking about your goals. And if you are, I encourage you to have a think about what are you going to do to help support your health and wellness in terms of your pelvic floor recovery, your postnatal rehab, to really help you feel strong and confident getting back to doing what you love with a bubba by your side, whether or not that's running around with your kids at the park or running the next marathon. So if you do want to investigate what FitNest Mama is all about, then come and join us. You can either join us on a monthly basis that's no commitment, month by month, or you can come and join us for a 6-month package where you get a lovely little discount. And we are here to help support you, whether or not it's with Pilates and yoga classes, live or on-demand classes, our monthly Q&As, guest expert speakers, return to running program, or the amazing community that we've got inside our private Facebook group with all the mums inside FitNest Mama. So if this sounds like something that could be useful for you heading into 2022, I invite you to come and join us at fitnessmama.com, and the link is in the show notes. So that's it, ladies. Have a fabulous day, and thank you for joining me over this last year, 2021, the crazy year that it has been. I appreciate each and every one of you listening to me, and it lights up my day when you come and say hi to me on Instagram at FitNest Mama. Come and let me know that you've listened to the podcast over the year. Come and let me know how many weeks pregnant you are or postnatal you are. I love to have a good chat. So thanks everyone again. I hope you have a bit of downtime over the next few weeks. And I look forward to you joining me next week in 2022 for another episode of the FitNest Mama podcast. Thanks for listening to the FitNest Mama podcast, brought to you by the FitNest Mama freebies found at www.fitnessmama.com/free. So please take a few seconds to leave a review, subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and be sure to take a screenshot of this podcast, upload it to your social media, and tag me at FitNest Mama so I can give you a shout out too. Until next time, remember, an active pregnancy, confident childbirth, and strong postnatal recovery is something that you deserve. Remember our disclaimer: materials and contents in this podcast are intended as general information only and shouldn't substitute any medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. I'll see you soon.